On the 22nd of May 2017, at 1 minute past 10:30 p.m, a bomb was detonated in the foyer of the Manchester Arena immediately following a concert by Ariana Grande. This was a cowardly attack that primarily targeted children, and 22 people were killed, including 10 under the age of 20. It was a tragic theft of life, and the impact it had on the victims' loved ones cannot be overstated. The attack was also a defining moment in the life and career of Ariana Grande. Aged 23 at the time, Ariana was thrust into an unprecedented situation that no one else has really ever experienced. She felt culpable and guilty for feeling her own emotions, fear and anxiety over returning to the stage, horror and heartbreak at the loss of so many young lives who were there to see her. Ariana has since opened up about her struggle with post-traumatic stress disorder. She told Elle magazine what this looks like, saying, "When I got home from tour, I had really wild dizzy spells, this feeling that I couldn't breathe. I would be in a good mood, fine and happy, and they would hit me out of nowhere. I've always had anxiety, but it had never been physical before. There were a couple of months straight where I felt so upside down." And this was an energy that Ari channeled into her next album, Sweetener. The track Breathin' details the physical sensations of her anxiety, the dizzy spells, overwhelming exhaustion, high blood pressure, and feelings of existential dread. And in the chorus, she offers a mantra of mindfulness, a method out of the madness.
Just keep breathing and breathing and breathing and breathing.
On Get Well Soon, Ari describes the feeling of depersonalization, a common symptom of PTSD.
My body's here on earth, but I'm floating.
However, Ariana does not focus on her problems for long. The song is all about overcoming her anxiety, wanting to work through it and move past it. And this forward focus is a theme echoed throughout Sweetener. The album's lead single was No Tears Left to Cry, the first song Ariana released after the Manchester concert.
Right now, I'm in a state of mind.
With a title that presents itself as a ballad and opens in that very style, the song quickly picks up into an upbeat dance tune, a transition inspired by Gloria Gaynor's own anthem of self-empowerment, I Will Survive.
Picking it up, I'm loving, I'm living, I'm picking it up, I'm picking it up, yeah, picking it up.
Ariana does not want to dwell in the past where her emotions overwhelm her, but rather pick herself up and live her best life. While she acknowledges the importance of feeling your own emotions, she is choosing to not let fear win, taking a stand against her own anxiety and moving forward.
We turning it up.
Ironically, No Tears Left to Cry only foreshadowed more pain that was to come Ariana's way. A month after its release as a single, she broke up with her boyfriend, rapper Mac Miller. However, the optimism of No Tears shines through to the rest of the album, which stands in defiant opposition to the sadness that pervaded this period of her life. Sweetener's title track evokes the various flavors of life, the bitterness and sourness of everything Ariana has been experiencing over the past year. But again, Ari shifts her focus away from the negativity and looks for the sweetness in her life, the joy that her friends and loved ones provide, which masks those unsavory tastes. She continues this positive mindset directly into the following track, Successful. In it, we get a proud Ariana, celebrating the life she has achieved for herself.
It feels so good to be so young and have this fun and be successful. I'm so successful, yeah.
But she refuses to let it turn into gloating, instead drawing her attention outwards and speaking empowerment into the lives of others, and using the fruits of her success to treat a partner with a nice surprise. Successful is a representation of Sweetener, showing an optimistic and generous Ariana, living proudly and happily in spite of all the pain and anguish she's been experiencing. Unfortunately though, life kept on swinging at Ari. Less than a month after Sweetener's release, Mac Miller was found dead in his home as a result of a drug overdose. With the couple's relationship so public and their breakup still so fresh in the media, Ariana became the target of online abuse and harassment, as a small but vocal portion of Mac's stans were quick to blame her for his death, despite Ariana being committed to helping Mac sober up, even after their split. Meanwhile, Ari was mourning the loss of her close friend, someone she still very much loved deeply, and trying to navigate the effect it had on her current relationship with comedian Pete Davidson, which eventually also ended in October of that year, with the couple calling off their engagement. And once again, Ariana channeled all this pain into her music. Just 6 months after the release of Sweetener, Ariana dropped her 5th album, Thank You Next. The packaging suggested a connection to its predecessor, carrying over the upside-down photo cover art and the all lowercase song titles. But it's in the details where Thank You Next distinguishes itself. While Sweetener featured a glamorous model shot with a glowing Ariana, the photograph on the cover of Thank You Next is grungy, taken with a Polaroid camera. Gone is the luscious production of Sweetener, as well as its gilded guest feature list. Most tracks on Thank You Next are built around a minimalist trap beat and are entirely carried by Ari herself. And lyrically, she is more open and intimate than before. In fact, Ari explicitly condemns Sweetener's notion of pretending everything's okay and smiling through the pain.
Fuck a fake smile.
Ariana admits that her relentless positivity can be an act, which she uses to hide the pain she's in, and she promises to be more honest about her feelings. She does exactly this on the song Ghostin', a vivid picture of her relationship with Pete Davidson in the wake of Mac Miller's death. Ariana is mourning the loss of Mac. While the term ghosting is appropriate in how it refers to somebody all of a sudden disappearing from your life without any warning or explanation, in this instance it also conjures an image of Ari being haunted by Mac's death. However, once again, the focus of the song is not on herself and her own struggles. Rather, she tries to empathize with Pete, who is struggling seeing how much her ex-boyfriend still means to her.
I know that it breaks your heart when I cry again over him.
Yet she remains encouraging, looking toward a future for the pair when all of this is behind them. It shows Ariana to be mindful and mature, something best captured in the album's most definitive track. Thank You Next is not your typical breakup song. While many do take the self-empowerment path, they are so often at the expense of the ex, looking down on your past relationship and growing stronger through the belief that you deserve better. But Ariana's empowerment doesn't come through retribution, it comes through gratitude. Ari names her ex-boyfriends, but instead of shaming them, she lists the important ways that they have individually touched her life, the lessons she has learned from each of them, and then she thanks them for it. There is no bitterness or sourness, no ulterior motives or backhanded compliments, just genuine respect and gratitude.
Thank you. I'm so fucking grateful for my ex.
As always though, Ariana is looking forward, and she ends her thank you with a next. It's an encouragement to not dwell on the past, nor to forget it entirely, but to reflect on the experience and take from it lessons to help you in the future. Thank You Next was Ariana's first song to hit #1 on the US Billboard charts, and spent 7 weeks there, dispelling the myth that modern mainstream radio is only interested in a mindless parade of insincere hits. Its title became a mantra for gratitude, encouraging a flip in perspective when moving on from relationships and other troubles in life. It's a phrase that I have personally adopted and found peace with through its use. Throughout these 2 albums, Ariana Grande is consistently gracious and generous towards others. She is emotionally vulnerable and honest about her struggles with mental health, but resists bitterness, always choosing to be grateful and remaining optimistic for the future. And she maturely approaches the tragedies and painful life events that would break the best of us, offering us empathy and supportive words of encouragement for when our own lives lose their sweetness, so that we may be able to pick ourselves up again.